Institute for Security Studies says bold reforms to the justice system are needed to release the country from state capture. It says all those compromised through corrupt activities must be removed and replaced. Well, the Institute is also calling for an annual report detailing the progress of all corruption cases. For more on this, I'm joined by Anna Moyo-Kopeta from the Center for the Study of Violence and Reconciliation. Anna, good evening, and thanks very much for your time. Looking at this report, and it calls, yes, for bold criminal justice reforms, and that these are needed to uncapture South Africa. Do you believe, with the commissions of inquiry that we've seen, or that we are seeing, that are underway, some have ended, some continuing, that there is a chance that this could happen, that this might happen? And what do these commissions need to do? Let's start with them first before we move to other areas.
Thank you, Yuveta. Indeed, there is a need to begin to take some bold steps towards ensuring that, first and foremost, the confidence of the general public is restored to our criminal justice system in South Africa. And for this to happen, we need to begin to see some gains, some yields from some of the commissions of inquiry that have been undertaken in the South African context. For instance, we've had the Marikana, the Falam Commission. We've had many others. Right now, we do have the Raymond Zondo Commission around state capture. We had also the one around the healthcare system, just I think about 2 years back. So we really need to see, to begin to see those who are implicated being investigated further, and we need to see these investigations leading to prosecutions. We also need to see not only those in the lowest positions in the system taking the fall, but we need to actually see those in the highest positions who make the decisions that actually lead to some corrupt activities being also brought to book and being called to answer to some of the charges that are leveled against them.
Well, let's break it down to some of these positions that we're talking about. I mean, if we look at the wrong people being placed in the wrong job, or perhaps if you say the right people based on what they were going to be used for, I suppose, right? And I suppose, firstly, coming to mind would be the public protector.
Indeed.
Who we're seeing now. That is a position. We've got the public protector, the various police commissioners, of very questionable character as well, who were put into place, especially during the time of Jacob Zuma. And then you look at the likes of Richard Mdluli. We look at even Ria Piecha. You talk about Marikana. It's going to be 7 years tomorrow. Just Nomgcobo Jiba and also Lawrence Mkhwebi. So we have to look at all of these and wonder. Yes, we kind of have an idea as to why these people might have been placed in those positions. Some of them are still there. What do we do?
What ISS also recommends is that we have a vetting process whereby those who are implicated are vetted to see whether they actually satisfy some of the integrity requirements that are needed for such positions. That is really important. It also feeds into ensuring that the mistrust that the general public have against government institutions is also done away with, and that people begin to trust and have confidence in the general public and also in the governance institutions that are set up in the country. But also what is really key, again, is for the general public, again, to be given some form of say in some of these positions. We commend what the president did with the appointment of the NPP, for instance,
yes,
where he had a panel of advisors advising him on who would be suitable for the position. That instills some form of trust in the general public to say the government was advised into taking this position or into appointing this person into a position of power. That is really critical, especially given where we are as a country right now.
Do we have the capability to do what you're asking us to do? I mean, can we do it, especially in the Ramaphosa era? Do you think that we can actually do this? We're talking about having regular updates. Let's see some results. Let's see what you're going to do with the guys who look dodgy in all of these various deals.
The president has started us on this trajectory already. I think what needs really to be done is to continue on this trajectory, to continue with this kind of transparency, with this kind of bringing the general public into also having a say in some of these appointments, and also instilling the general public's confidence in the governance and the governing of a country.
And he himself embroiled in a little bit of a scandal at the moment as well. It doesn't help at the moment, does it?
Indeed, but also what is really key is the transparency with all of these processes. processes and ensuring that the rule of law is restored first and foremost, and again to ensure that the general public can trust the system and the governance institutions and the powers that are actually governing at the present moment.
I suspect we have a long road to get there. Thank you very much, Anna Moyo-Kopeta. She's from the Center for the Study of Violence and